has a very special guest.
And I'm telling you what, this is fascinating. If you're a history buff, you're going to love this. If you live in Mecklenburg County or this area, you need to know about this. Wonderful guest with us, Michael Briggs, who's an author and a collector of wonderful rifles that were made in Mecklenburg County. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great.
Good
Thank
to
you
see
for having me.
These rifles, long rifles as we know them, flintlock, percussion rifles, I don't know how exactly that goes. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that. But the significance of long rifles made in Mecklenburg County.
Well, those of us that collect Piedmont, North Carolina decorative arts and collect North Carolina rifles divide them into 9 regional styles. 8 of those styles are down in the Piedmont areas of North Carolina, Mecklenburg being one of those, and then the 9th style up in the mountain area we call the Appalachian School. The Mecklenburg School started about 1770. It ended about 1835. There were 20 gunsmiths that lived in Mecklenburg, Gaston, and Lincoln counties that worked in this style.
Wow. And tell me about the importance in that era of having a long rifle.
It was a necessary tool. Every house, whether it was a small log cabin or a big stone house like Hezekiah Alexander's, would have had one of these rifles in it. And as a matter of fact, the most ornate ones that we find from North Carolina were made in this county. If you were wealthy, this was the second most expensive thing you ever bought in your life other than your land and your house. So therefore, if you were wealthy, you wanted a fancy one to be able to show off to your friends.
Mm-hmm. Now, back in that day, these rifles were used. What was the purpose of rifles?
You used it for self-defense purposes. This top rifle is called the Hornet's Nest rifle. It dates back to the Revolutionary War. So the Mecklenburg militia here under William R. Davie and William Davidson, this is the type of gun that they were carrying. Mm-hmm. The second rifle was made about 1795, the bottom rifle about 1810. They were made for hunting. They were made, again, for self-defense. They were made to take to match shoots where you're shooting at a target and in competition with your friends. We have turkey shoots today. Back then they shot rifles. And
Zenas Alexander, tell me about him.
Well, the person that we give the most credit for founding the Mecklenburg School is a man named Isaac Price, born in 1747. He trained 4 young men as apprentices to be gunsmiths, one of which was Zenas Alexander. Zenas was born here in 1771 on Christmas Day, trained under Isaac Price from 1787 to 1792. This middle rifle is the only surviving signed Zenas Alexander rifle. It's signed upside down on the patchbox lid ZA. The bottom rifle is by Samuel Black, and it is signed SMB on the patchbox lid, and it's relief carved on the backside of the stock.
Oh, it's just incredible. Now, you've put together a book,
I did.
And this would be a wonderful Christmas gift for anyone, particularly if you're from Mecklenburg County or the surrounding area. And the book is about, it shows the 20 or...
shows 19 known examples of Mecklenburg rifles and the only pistol which we have here, and some of the silver items also signed by Zenas Alexander that still survive.
All right. And how can I get a hold of this book?
It's being sold at Barnes & Nobles, at both Morrison and Arboretum, the Charlotte Museum of History bookstore, and Latta Plantation bookstore.
All right. Michael Briggs, thank you. I wish we had more time. I'm absolutely fascinated with all this. Do get this book for Christmas, a Christmas gift. Just get it. How about that? Because it's a fascinating history.
I'll be at the Charlotte Gun Show next weekend with all of these so people can come see them and get the book there.
All right. Michael Briggs, thank you so much. Pleasure to have you. Stay with us. We'll be back right after this.